welcome back to Food Prep Guide. Today we are talking about sugar and how to store your sugar long term to keep the bugs out. When it comes to sugar, pests are your number one concern because sugar is basically edible energy for bugs and they love it. It's their preferred food source, so that's what they're going to go to first in your food storage. When we're talking about sugar, we have a immediate daily use or weekly use sugar option, which is in our working pantry, and then we have our bulk storage option, which is in a back pantry that we refill our pantry storage container with. So the number one line of defense is an airtight container. That can be all sorts of things, of course. I use one of these containers that have the rubber gasket right here, and then when you press it down, it just kind of seals it. Those come in all shapes and sizes. I'll try to find this container and link it in the description box below. And then for the bulk sugar storage, I have a 5-gallon bucket. And what you want to do is, if you're going to go this route and store sugar in bulk, you're going to want to upgrade to a Gamma Seal lid. That's for two reasons. Number one, the flimsy plastic lid that comes with the buckets are not at all airtight. So a Gamma Seal lid is going to give you an airtight seal. It's like a screw top lid, and it's not oxygen free in the sense of a vacuum seal, but it's airtight. Another benefit of that, which is going to play into the next tip, is you now have a sturdy surface to stack on, and I'll talk more about that in a second. The second line of defense I always use is bay leaves. I have this big container that I keep on hand at all times, and I use it with all of my food storage items, and I put them in 3 areas. So let me show you that real quick. I will put them in the bucket itself. I don't have to put bay leaves in my regular daily use pantry because I'm cycling through that constantly, and it's in my constant vision, so I can see if there's any bug activity. So I don't use bay leaves for that, but I do in my bulk storage. So the first place I put the bay leaves is inside the sugar bucket itself. So I'm going to place just maybe 4 or 5, 6 leaves, something like that, on the top. And when I go to scoop out sugar, I'm just going to scoot those to the side and scoop, and then when I am done, before I reseal it, I just kind of sprinkle them over the top of it, just to kind of get an even distribution of leaves. The next place I put the bay leaves is on the lid itself. So I like to put 1 to 2 bay leaves in each of these 4 areas of the Gamma Seal lid. It's kind of partitioned off into 4 little areas, and I put 2 leaves in each area. So that is the second line of defense. The third line of defense is I never store sugar on the ground. Obviously, most bugs, obviously you got flies, but most bugs crawl on the ground, and so if you have it on the ground, it's just easier access for the bugs. So with my sugar, I will stack it onto another 5-gallon bucket, and that's where these Gamma Seal lids come really in handy. Not only are you getting an easy open, not only are you getting an airtight seal, but you can get a sturdy base to stack on. So I will use another non-super bug prone bucket like dried beans or even rice, and I will have that be on the ground, and I will stack my sugar bucket on top of that. Now anytime I have a 5-gallon bucket stack, I will place more bay leaves around the base of the bucket on the floor wherever it's being stored. And I'm just going to circle it around there. I really love bay leaves, can you tell? Because bugs really don't like bay leaves, and they just come in handy. Whenever it comes to food storage, I'm all about simplifying, saving money. If I can use one solution for multiple purposes, that's what I'm going to do. And bay leaves just fit that well. So that's all I do. So airtight container, bay leaves inside on the lid as well, and then stack it on top of another 5-gallon bucket, and you have your bay leaves sprinkled along the bottom, and that's all I do. Let's talk about vacuum sealing and Mylar bags. When I was researching sugar storage, I saw a lot of people vacuum sealing it. I also saw a lot of people storing it in Mylar bags. And so I researched into that further, and I decided I wasn't going to do either one of those two things. Number one, depending on the type of sugar you're using, it can have a high moisture content. And anytime you vacuum seal something with a high moisture content, you're going to be encouraging it to clump up and harden. And you don't want that with your sugar. The second thing is sugar is a natural preservative. I mean, think about what it does to your fruits for jams and jellies and such. It's kind of like salt in the sense that if it's in this container, it's not going to go bad just sitting in this container. The only way it's going to go bad is if moisture gets into it somehow or if bugs get into it somehow. So I don't want to necessarily use those resources like my vacuum seal bags and my Mylar bags and stuff like that. I don't want to use those resources on things that already last a long time with nothing extra added. Not only that, but a lot of people just automatically put an oxygen absorber inside their Mylar bag, and again, you're creating an 100% oxygen-free environment, which is going to encourage hard clumps in your sugar. So you don't have to go the Mylar bag route. You don't even have to vacuum seal it. Let's not make things more complicated than they need to be. And so just pantry container, 5-gallon bucket is really all you need with your bay leaves. Will keep those pests away. Hope that was helpful to you. See you on the next video.